Has Becky Lynch retired from professional wrestling? That's the question that every single professional wrestling fan is asking themselves today. As Becky Lynch posted on social media just mere minutes after her A&E biography went off the air saying, quote, "It's been a hell of a career. Being the man for all of you was an honor. Being the mom for her is a privilege. Thanks for watching my bio on A&E TV." And in that, she shared a picture of herself and her daughter. And obviously, the speculation ever since her contract ended a couple of months ago has been, what's happening? Is she going to AEW? Is she going to eventually re-sign with WWE? Or is she just going to go away? And I think we got an answer, at least in the short term, but potentially for the long term. Brian, hit me with your reaction. Do you think we've seen the last of Becky Lynch in wrestling, at least for the next little while?
I think for the next little while, yes. But I also think she's just trying to promote her biography. I don't think she's done yet. I don't think she would go out like that anyway, just the last match on Raw. Something definitely needs to happen that's eventful and in her career. It's just not going to happen, bro. I'm going to be honest. But aside from that, I just think she's promoting her biography. She knows that, people are going to watch it and all that. So, hey, that's just what it is. So that's just my 2 cents when it comes to that. So I don't think she's going anywhere. I think she's just taking a longer hiatus than we expected.
Interesting. Kero, Becky Lynch has obviously accomplished a lot in her career, and many people, myself included, believe that she kind of, has helped define this era in women's wrestling. What does her potential retirement, or at least stepping away from the business, mean?
I don't know. I guess it means a lot. Like, if I feel like now she is the modern day either Trish Stratus or Lita, something like that. Like back in the day when they retired, when they stepped away, it was definitely a big void for a while until these ladies came along. Bayley, Becky, Charlotte. Now we're seeing them going away. Like, when's the last time you saw Charlotte wrestle? Now that's been due to her injuries. But even though if she wasn't injured, I feel like she would be wrestling in this schedule. And in that sense, I think Becky Lynch already kind of retired from full time after her latest run. That's how I see it. But then again, look at Trish Stratus. I don't mean this as a disrespect to her, but as old as she was, she came in, and had a badass run, and it was pretty much full time for a couple of months, but still full time. So still, like, this has been the longest I think Becky's been out without an injury, without anything like that. And I think the big part of it is because of not just her biography, but what's in her biography, and that's her daughter with Seth Rollins. Like, even Seth was saying all the time in his interviews, and I'm sure he does so still, that like he says, wrestling used to be number one for me, now it's number two or number three even, because my daughter is number one, my wife is number two. Same thing probably goes for Becky. Now wrestling might be number three for her, because like, she was always an underdog. I remember in NXT, and out of all the four horsewomen, like, she definitely had the biggest mountain to climb. While she climbed it, she won every single championship imaginable, did everything pretty much at the main event level, at the highest level. And so she doesn't have to do this full time anymore. And honestly, I think that's what's going to happen, at least for the foreseeable future, because I think she wants to be with her daughter. And that's going to be a big decision for her to not really go full time as she used to when she was a little younger. I do think, though, obviously we don't have the news yet, I don't think, that she's going to go away from the WWE to AEW. Maybe that will happen in the future, but not anytime soon, I don't think. So she's staying in the WWE, and I feel like she's going to be doing part-time stuff like Charlotte is doing right now. And maybe after her loss to Nia Jax, I feel like even Bayley might be, switching to a part-time style, or maybe actually Bayley's more likely to go to AEW. But yeah, I feel like this is a big milestone in her career. Like, I can just talk about John Cena, for example. Like, after, I think, losing to Bryan Danielson or something like that, that's when he started becoming part-time, truly part-time. And that's why we saw Cena just wrestle a lot less frequently, gradually. But that's what happened. So I feel like this is, right now, that era for Becky Lynch. I might be wrong, but everything that we're seeing, everything she's saying is pointing towards that. Not pointing towards her retirement, but definitely pointing towards the time of her wrestling full time. That's my take on it.
And Kara, I think you hit the nail right on the head when you said that, priorities change, right? It's like at a certain point, I think for Becky and for a lot of people, like wrestling was their main priority. And like over time, as you get older, as you evolve, as your relationships with people evolve, as you have children and things like that, it always changes. And it is a natural part of life. And I know there's going to be people who are upset. There are going to be people who are probably going to go online being like, no, Becky, don't go away. Da, da, da. But at the same time, we always need to remember and contextualize it. Like, these are human beings, right? And especially someone like Becky Lynch, who has like done things at the highest level. Like, if we're being honest, the first WrestleMania women's main event does not happen in 2019 if it wasn't for Becky Lynch being as over and hot as she was in 2018. Like, that was, like, it would have happened eventually, but it would not have happened when it did without Becky Lynch being the top face of the company. Like forget male, female, none of that. It was 2018 was her year. 2019 was her year. She was the man, literally and figuratively. Yeah. And she was like the main draw of WWE during that time. And I think immediately, like, everyone's mind's going to go back to that, like, one, like, now infamous shot of her in the crowd, bloodied nose, after being one of the first women in WWE to ever stand up to Ronda Rousey, back when Ronda Rousey still had that mystique about her, being the baddest woman on the planet. And, it was really like, I say it was Austin-esque, like, there it is. Like, that is the career-defining shot for Becky Lynch. And if it all ended today, right? I'm not saying it is, but if it all ended today, she has accomplished everything that she needs to be right up there with the greats of all time. Mm-hmm. I think Becky Lynch, for me personally, is like the best women's like star of this past era. And I think without her, there are a lot of things in women's professional wrestling that don't happen the way that they ended up happening and don't happen as quickly as they did. So shout out to her. But fellas, any final thoughts on Becky Lynch?
Just don't go to AEW. Word.
Come on, man.
I'll go to AEW. I'm trying to see. Yo, Becky Lynch might be retired, but Rebecca Quinn, let's go, baby.
Yeah. Well, my final take is I hated the fact that Seth Rollins returned so early because we didn't get the chance to miss him. Becky's taking her time, and I enjoy that, so we can miss her. So that's something I enjoy. But yeah,
it's go get a big pop.
Yeah, making me kind of reminisce because she's definitely one of the ghosts. You're right, Homer.
For sure. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think about this news. Is Becky Lynch fully retired? Is she never coming back? Is she going to AEW? What the hell is going on? We want to hear from y'all. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and also kiss that ring.
Peace.
Oh, the ring's here.